everybody. How we doing? Rob here. Can you hear me? We'll start with that. Can you hear me? 3, 2, 1, go, Jules. Yes, that's right. I don't know, how's my timing as that countdown is approaching 0? Am I timing that all right? James Ryan says fantastic. Awesome. So you can hear me. Skunk Eye Music. Hi, Rob. Michael from the UK here. Welcome, Skunk Eye Music. Or Michael. And who else do we got here? Pamela Powers. Hello. You can hear me. Awesome. Can hear you. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. So another Tuesday, another live stream. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome. And if you are returning, then welcome back. Glad to have you on board again. Jolene says, yes, can hear you. Timing is great. Adam S. says, hey, Rob. Hey, Adam. And hey, Jolene. Thank you for stopping in. I don't have my overlay on. Let's put that on right there. So that will give you an idea as to what I have planned for today. But as always, this live stream will be shaped by you guys. Whatever you ask me, whatever you want me to talk about, I will talk about if I can. If I know the answers to your questions, I will give them. If not, I'll get back to you. So yeah, what we usually do here is there's usually a heavy Camtasia influence to these live streams. That's kind of the direction this channel's going, and we'll just keep going with it if that's the direction you want me to go. It's the video editing software I use the most, and I love it. I've been using it for many, many years. I used to make, well, I still do make tutorial videos for clients as a freelancer, but I used to have a business, a website that basically made a lot of tutorial videos and kind of resold them to hosting companies back in the day. So yeah, I'm going back over 10 years with Camtasia anyways. I should try to figure it out at some point, how long it's been, maybe 15 years. So how's everybody doing today? Where's everybody from if you're watching? And also, I wanted to mention that since last Tuesday, I participated in a webinar that Camtasia or TechSmith, the parent company, put on that kind of walk us through, what they're working on, future stuff. Not the new stuff that just came out with Camtasia 2024, but stuff that's coming out in 2025 and beyond. So I'm prepared to talk a little bit about that. And that was open to anybody, so perhaps some of you were there as well. I think if you're a Camtasia customer or subscriber, you would have received an email with an invite. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So anyways, if anybody was in on that, I'd be interested to know. But don't fret if you weren't, because I've got all the goods on what they talked about, and there's some pretty cool stuff coming down. So yeah, so one of the things that was made aware to me since last week is that perhaps sometimes my Q&A sessions run a bit long on these live streams. I think last week it might have been almost well over an hour. It might have been an hour and a half that we just kind of went back and forth with questions and answers, and I tend to talk a lot. And you know what? I think I come by it honestly, because when this started, my first couple of live chats, there might have been one. The first one, there was probably 0 in it. So you get used to kind of making stuff up as you go. But as the channel grows, as these live streams grow, and as interest grows and more people show up, I've got to watch, how long my answers are. I want everybody to get a chance to get your questions in and have me answer them. So I will do better on trying to limit. So I mean, if there's no questions, we'll get right into what I was, planning on talking about and showing you. But if there is, I will answer them. But I think I'll put a limit of maybe, say, so maximum 30 minutes, say, for Q&A. And if you guys think that's too long, let me know that too. So that's just kind of my initial thought on that. So just seeing here, James Ryan missed the TechSmith presentation. Not to worry. Actually, it was quite long. It was, I want to say it was 3.5 hours, with maybe a half an hour break before they got into the future stuff. The stuff at the end was really cool. So I'm not going to go through all like everything that they talked about, but all of the cool stuff, let's say. Hello, Fulvio from Naples, Italy. Hello, welcome back. And Skunk Eye, Michael, Skunk Eye Music, watch the TechSmith event. Awesome. Be interested to know what you thought about it. Very good. And Jolene loves the Q&A. That's what I'm here for. All right. So as soon as I stop answering questions, I guess you're out of here. No problem, though. I love doing Q&A, too. I'll answer as many questions as you guys have. Hello, Rob and everyone. Brigadier William Wildebeest, or Wild Beast. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. You've been here before. You're here most weeks, I think. That's great. Good to see you back. So again, for anybody who is new, I think most people here are probably, I mean, there's always probably new people dropping in and coming and going. That's kind of the way these things work. But most of you are probably been here before. But for those who are new, if you don't have Camtasia yet, or you haven't upgraded to the latest version yet, if you would use my link in the description below, you'll get 10% off any subscription or any Camtasia or Camtasia Anaudiate or whatever you're looking for. So that's something you can take advantage of if you want. As Fulvio saying, Naples wait you for a pizza party. You're waiting for a pizza party, are you? That sounds good to me. I love Italian food. So there's a coupon code you can use if you need to upgrade. And just talking about, so this is, here, let me put my yellow highlighter here. So this, I'm going to try to, do you see this yellow highlighter here that I can kind of move around the screen? I'm going to try to keep that current with what we're talking about. So right now we are still kind of in the intro phase. I just had a couple things I wanted to go through before we moved on from this. And hello, Ron Brown from Comox, BC, other side of this big, beautiful country. Thanks for stopping in. As part of the intro, so I talked about the discount. You can get that. Something else is kind of new and fun, and I can show you how I made this. The last couple of live streams, there have been a couple people give me super chats, which I'm very appreciative of. Thank you very much. But I never had a noise cartoon kind of thing to kind of acknowledge that on screen. So I created one, and I will show you it now. So if I ever get a super chat, I'm going to have to press a button. It's not automatic, but this is what you're going to get and see. Let me just remove the message. You're going to get this. Tell me what you think. Just something fun. And yes, I made that in Camtasia. Sort of. I used Canva to get the images, and I put the images together in Camtasia with the sound effects. Music, or there was no music, but there was 2 sound effects. Anyways, I can show you guys how I made that if anybody is interested, with the green screen and all that. So I did that. That took me a couple of hours, only because I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. Kind of corny, but kind of fun. And so I can show you guys how I did that if you want to know. And the next thing I have, wait for it. Thank you, Tech for Senior, for the super chat. Oh, that pops up on screen too. Does that show for you guys? Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. You guys, who know, if I start getting a lot of these, I'm going to have to press that button a lot, and you guys might get sick of it. You may let me know if I need to change up the sounds or the cartoon from week to week. Sorry guys, here we go. Thank you, Jolene. Very much appreciated. Another super chat. Really appreciate that. And Adam says, how do you make a super chat? So it's a YouTube thing. First of all, you have to be monetized, not the full 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hour monetized, but I think once you get to 500 subscribers, you get, I don't know, it is monetized, but it's kind of like half monetized. You don't yet participate in the in the ad revenue with YouTube, but it does allow you to accept super chats, which is what these are. And that's if somebody in the chat clicks on that $ and then sends a message, and basically a tip is what it is. There's also something called super thanks, that if you ever watch a video for anybody who has it enabled, and you wanted to send a tip, you can do that. There's a thanks icon or something below videos in YouTube. So super chat, super thanks, those are kind of one and the same. And they're a tip that go to the creator. It's a share thing, actually. So depending on, it's not really depend. I don't even know what the percentage is, but I think YouTube might take 30%, 25%. I'm not too sure. And then the creator would get the balance of it. So that's what it is. And it's a YouTube thing. And I can show you how I made it. I made the actual cartoon video in Camtasia. And the images you could get anywhere. I got them from Canva, but if you had other images, so I used two images. One image was cartoon water on the bottom, and the other one was the cartoon boat. And then I got the sound effects from Motion Array is what I did. So that's how I did it. And as we're talking about it, we have to do this again. Thank you very much, James Ryan, for the super chat. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is a whole new dimension to the live stream. And Sybil Morgan, happy Tuesday all from Montana, Missouri. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it Montana? I think it is Montana. Welcome, Sybil. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you again. So yeah, that is that. So that is pretty much it. That's all I had written down for the intro. So let's move my little yellow marker here, and we will go to this. I need your help. So don't worry, I'm not in trouble or anything. But Missouri, sorry Sybil, Missouri. And I thought it was because we had that whole Missouri conversation a couple weeks ago. But I thought, for some reason, I thought Missouri was MS, but that's Mississippi. There's a lot of M states, so I get them. What is Montana? Anyways, what's the abbreviation for Montana? MN? Maybe it's MN. Anyways, I'm off topic. So yes, the I need your help section. So all that is, and you may have seen some of my messages in the beginning, MT is Montana, of course. I'm not supposed to know anyways. I'm in Canada. I'm a Canadian, but I do know, so most of them. Yeah, so what was I saying here? Not latest videos. What was I? Oh, I need your help. So yeah, the questions that I posed at the very beginning. So I've drafted a list of topics that I think should be covered to create a course. I don't know if I'm on the right track or not. It might not be popular at all. I'm getting my advice from you guys as much as I can from these weekly live streams. But at some point, so right now I'm kind of running this channel kind of as a hobby, but I'm in the process of turning it into a business. So I want to create things that people want or need help with. So the idea I have right now is courses, and I've also thought of a membership. And I think I mentioned this a little bit last week. Memberships could be something like, like some ideas are you get advanced viewing of videos. I'm not sure if that would work because I typically post them as soon as I have them ready. So I don't know if I suppose I could delay posting them on YouTube and give members, access to them for a few days before I go live. So that's one thing some people do. I thought providing the Camtasia files, the zip files if you're on Windows, or their CMPROJ files if you're on a Mac, same kind of thing though. They're folders that contain everything in a Camtasia file. If I provided those or made them available to you guys of all of the videos that I make on YouTube, the YouTube videos I make, as well as the project or the sample projects, because typically most of the YouTube videos I make on Camtasia, I'm also recording myself in Camtasia. So I'm working in a project file and I'm showing you how to do things, but then that whole thing is itself a Camtasia project file. So, I could make those available, and you guys can kind of reverse engineer to see how I do things. So maybe there's something that I did in a video edit that you wanted to know how I did it, and you want to recreate that in your own projects. You could download my zip file and, open it up and say, oh, that's how we did that. So that's one idea I've had. Another idea is to members get, discounts on courses that I create, or even free courses. There's any number of ways I could do this. So anyways, yeah, so the help that I'm looking for is, what do you guys need help with? Like what could I bring to you that's valuable, that you would like? Another way to think of it is, what are your pain points? That's just kind of a term. Like if I could help you speed up whatever your workflow, what is it that you need the most help with? Do you need the most help with, do you want to put your voice in videos and you haven't yet? You don't like the way your voice sounds, or you can't get good audio, there's too much echo, too much reverb. Would a course on voiceovers be of interest? Most of these things are probably available somewhere on the internet. Well, they are. And in fact, they're all free on YouTube if you want to search for stuff. But what I'm kind of talking about is making something that's step by step by step, that you don't have to go searching. So the one I've been working on, the outline I've been working on is a course to, well, it's, what is the tentative name, is, where to go here? Training Video Accelerator. Okay, Training Video Accelerator. And what I mean by that is walk you through the steps from 0 to complete. And what you would get at the end of it is a completed, professional looking tutorial video. And I will take you through all the steps that I go through. And I've got a list of 34 videos that I would create to take you through all these. And I'm gonna, there's 5 of them are on voiceover, 5 videos alone on voiceover setup, voiceover tips, how to record your voiceover, edit your voiceover and process it, how to import and insert your voiceover. So there's all kinds of things like that. There's a dozen or so. Anyways, I don't need to go through all that. That's just one of the ideas I had. And the thinking is that you can find Camtasia basic videos, right? You can, if you need to know how to do something specific in Camtasia, you could probably find that on YouTube, either my channel or somebody else's, or TechSmith, something like that. TechSmith's own website. But it's harder to find something that takes you, this is what you want to create. How do you go from starting from scratch to creating that? Maybe you don't need to learn all of Camtasia, and you don't. For these 34 videos that I've outlined for this course, they don't teach you everything in Camtasia. It only teaches you what you need to know to make a professional looking tutorial video with voiceover. Okay. I was thinking that I would not do it for video, like your face in the video. Tell me if I'm wrong though, but my feeling is that most people who are creating tutorial videos would just rather do a voiceover, either their own or somebody else's or whatever, and not necessarily the face. There's a whole bunch of other things you have to consider when you're recording your face. You have to know, and I'm kind of doing it from the mindset of, maybe you're a freelancer and you want to make these very professional looking and you want to sell them, or you want to get clients who need you to create tutorial videos for them, right? And you want to be able to repeat the process quickly. So that's another outcome that you'd get from this course is you'd have a repeatable process in place once you're finished. You'll have a library set up. You'll have a template set up. You'll have assets set up. Everything would be set up. You'll have themes set up for your colors, a logo, and everything. So once you make one, it should be very easy to make additional ones. And the very last video in this is how to make future videos, basically how to repeat the process and do it all over again. So that's where my mind is right now. But if you have any other ideas, if this is not a good idea, let me know. If you don't like this idea, or if there's something else you'd like to see me do first, or if you'd like shorter mini courses made on specific things, and maybe just a voiceover course, maybe just a screen recording course, and best practices and stuff like that. So that's what I'd love some help with. And I see there's a whole bunch of comments, so maybe I'm getting some help now. But if not, so I'll have a quick look. But if you're watching this on the replay, if you're not here live, feel free to leave a comment below, because obviously once the live is over, you can't leave a live comment, right? So let me just quickly go back here. So anyways, let me know what you think of that. And I'll just quickly go through these chats here. James Ryan used Camtasia to create AutoCAD tutorials for a civil engineering company about 5 years ago. Worked great. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Adam would like to know color grading across multiple B-roll clips so you get a consistent look. Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to write that down. Color, because that's something I could probably do. That probably wouldn't require a course. I could probably just make a video on that. Color grading. I think you've mentioned this before. I probably already have it written down. Multiple B-roll clips, consistent look. Yeah, so you can do color grading with Camtasia. The color grading in it is not as robust as some other video editing software like DaVinci Resolve, but you can do a lot, right? You just can't. One of the things you can't do is you can't zoom in on an area of a clip and only color grade that area, like masking other things away, things like that. But you certainly can modify the colors. Actually, I noticed the video I put out yesterday, I was wearing the same shirt, but I did add a little color grade to it. And after I watched it afterwards, I'm thinking, that's awful bright. I think I had the contrast up a little too high on that. But if you compare that video with however I look right now, there's no color grading being applied here because this is just raw live streaming. I don't have any filter or anything added to this. So it'd be interesting to see what the difference is between this video and yesterday's video. Maybe I have to dial down my color grading a bit. But yeah, I could certainly help with that. Jolene says, I need tips for making captions better. Second, I need help editing my voice. I don't like Audiate. Okay, very good. I haven't actually used Audiate yet, but I am going to. I'm going to give it a spin and give it a review. I've only used Audition before. You've probably heard me say that. And I haven't done a video on how to process audio yet. I've been kind of struggling with what's the best way to show that, because right now I can only really show how I would do it, or how I do it on Adobe Audition, right? And many of you may not have that, and many of you, I'm feeling like I should learn how to do it on Audacity first, and then I could do a video on it. And the only reason that is because I think Audacity, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but there may be more of you more apt to be using Audacity than Audition. You would have to have Audition in order to use it, and then that costs money. Maybe you have the Adobe plan and you have it anyway, so that's no problem. But Audacity is free. So there you go. So I think it will do, as far as voiceover goes, it pretty much does everything you need it to do. So I could be doing what I do in Audition or Audacity. So anyways, long story short, I will figure that out. And I'm going to make a video on that, how to process the voice and ways to make your voice sound better. So yes, I've got that already. I know I have that on my list. AAA. Hi, Rob. Hello. Thank you for stopping in. And Learning from Tech says, hello from Calgary. Just joined. Welcome. Welcome, Frank. Thanks for stopping in again. Good to see you. Adam says, you could create a poll on your website and send us the link so we can vote, comment, and make requests. If you need help with that, just let me know and I'd help. Awesome, Adam. Thank you very much. And great idea. Actually, my website is something I have to get back to and finish it. I have moved from my old host over to Kajabi, is where the domain is pointing now. And all I really have there now is some landing page forwarders for the links I have down below. I haven't actually, the plan is to put whatever I had in the other website on the new one. So a new website should be coming in the next, I'm going to say in the next couple of weeks. And then everything will be run from that. That'll be like a home base from which everything, the future membership will be run from there. Any courses, free or paid, whatever, will all be there, and any polls. I do like that idea, as does Jolene. That is a good idea. So yes, absolutely. And Frank is watching while editing. Very good. You are multitasking. Text tips. How to have quality text like bullet points, tutorial bullet points, contrast from background, etc. Okay, text tips. I'll write that down. Cool. Yeah, there's some tips. I would probably have to do a little bit of homework just to make sure I could get enough info to put in a video. But yeah, no, that's a good point. Contrast is important so that your text really stands out. I'll give you one tip right now because I run into this a lot. Whenever I put text on a video, if it's like, let's say I want the same color text to pop up, several times throughout a video. Maybe later on in the video, that color doesn't go well. Like maybe it's the same color as the background video, later on in the video. And so there's not much contrast between the two. Drop shadow is your friend. Drop shadow, I use that almost all the time. And if the look you're going for, you don't want a drop shadow, then text stroke is a good idea. If your text is white on a white background, add a stroke. Or a stroke and drop shadow. Both together would be good too. So yeah, but no, that's a good idea for a future video as well. Absolutely. Okay. I am caught up with the chats. It's been almost 30 minutes, so that's good. We're kind of on schedule. So I will look at, I'm going to write down poll on website in brackets, Adam. Thank you, Adam. Great idea. What is next? So let's just scroll down here, move my little marker, latest videos. So just a review. So I did have 3 videos that I posted within the last week. Last Wednesday's was shaky, grainy film look. So that was kind of a simple one. And it involved more than just Camtasia. So Camtasia didn't have, that I could find, like a glitchy film damage look, like overlay, right? So I didn't see one in there, so I went to Motion Array and found one there. But what I did like, what got me onto that video is the camera shake. The video was only going to be about how to do camera shake, right? And that's the new Wiggle. Was it Wiggle or Tremble? Wiggle, I think. The new Wiggle behavior, which I love. I use it all the time. Actually, if you notice the text that I have pop up, I try to give it that floaty look, like it's on water. And the Wiggle, makes some adjustments and whatnot, makes that fairly easy. So I thought I would demonstrate that, like the camera shake. If you're holding a camera and you're filming something, that may be some B-roll you want to go to in a video. And maybe you want it to look like it's a handheld shot, which means it's not going to be perfectly still like it would be on a tripod. Well, if you want that look, you can kind of create that look now with Wiggle, with the Wiggle behavior, and modify the X and Y offset and the frequency and all that stuff. So that's what that video is going to be about. But then I went a little further and I added some film grain and made it black and white, stuff like that. So that's kind of fun. Next thing, on Friday, all I did was I basically summarized the Camtasia 2024 live stream that I did 2 weeks ago now. So June 4th, when they came out with Camtasia 2024, I did the live stream, but I thought it'd be good to have a video that basically summarized it, so you didn't have to watch because I think that live stream was over 3 hours. So now you can watch that in, I don't know what, I think it was 18 minutes or something. And I've got the chapters in there, so you can skip ahead if you want to quickly find and learn about something new that was in Camtasia 2024. You can check that out. So that was last Friday. And then yesterday, Get Organized. So basically all that was that was highlighting the new toolbar reordering in Camtasia, which basically is this: the fact that you can come over here and grab any of these and click and move them. Okay, you can move your toolbars around however you want. So that's how that video started out. That's what it was going to be. But I added some more stuff to it. I got into favorites and what else? Anyways, you can check it out. It's not a very long video, but that kind of tips to help you get organized. And like, let's say your timeline is too tall, like this one here. And that's actually somebody mentioned in the comments. I failed to mention it in the video, but if your timeline is, if you're having to scroll your timeline like this to see everything, you can globally make all of the tracks smaller by dragging this little icon down like this. Okay, you can adjust it like that. So that's one thing you can do. But what I was saying in the video is that if you're, let's say you did this so that you could see more of your timeline, like this, say, and let's zoom this out so we can see the whole screen. Now you can't see everything here. You have to click into this more, and then, you know, if the ones that aren't listed at the top, the tools that are in here in the more. So something that I thought was fairly, I mean, some of these things, for me, I thought it was obvious. Well, if there's a more there, just click that, and then, oh, there they are. But there have been people that wondered, oh, where did my tool go? And so I just wanted to make a video to show how to find them if they've been bumped off of the main list. So that was that video, the Get Organized video. Okay, so let me just let's see here. Sybil says, I use WebAIM contrast checker to make sure there is contrast between text and background. WCAG 2.1. AA is standard for accessibility. Use color picker in Camtasia to find hex code for colors in pics. Okay, I've never heard of that. WebAIM contrast checker. I've heard of the color wheel, and I know I think the way it works is if you pick a color on one side of the wheel, go 180 degrees to the other side, and that's the color that perfectly contrasts with the other one. Like, there's a whole thing to color science that I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm going to say stuff that's not right, but I only know enough to probably get myself into trouble. But there is a huge science to that. But yeah, WebAIM contrast checker. I had never heard of that. Very good. Thank you for pointing that out. So next up, we have upcoming videos. See how fast this thing rolls along when I don't spend so much time in the chat? Let me know if this is better or if the chat is better. So I don't mind going through the chat. The more you guys ask questions, the more I'll answer them. I don't mind that at all. But I was quick. So upcoming videos, I really don't like. So the plan is to have one tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to make yet. I haven't made it yet. I've got some ideas, and you've given me some more ideas. The color grading, the text tips, and some other things that I have written down. So there's the Stream Deck. Somebody wants to know about the Stream Deck and how to integrate that and use it for use the buttons of the Stream Deck to help you edit faster in Camtasia. That's another idea I've got, or that somebody gave me. So yeah, I don't really have anything to say here other than expect 2 to 3 more videos before next Tuesday. So the plan right now is to have one tomorrow and Friday and Monday, but we'll see how things go. And Fulvio just said, can you create a tutorial how to color grade in Camtasia with color checker tool hardware? Okay, yes, very good. Yeah, I'll just I'll add that. So color grading across multiple B-roll clips. I mean, maybe that's something we add to that tutorial as well. With color checker tool hardware. Okay, I might have to do a little bit of homework on that too before I get into that, because I've only done some basic color grading to this point, and that's the 3 main ones, the saturation and what are they? The three ones that you add when you go to visual effects and you bring, I'm just going to do it here so you guys can see me. If this were a video, I don't actually have a video here, but you would go to visual effects and then color adjustment, and it'll allow me to put it on that. Okay, and then up here, so yeah, brightness, contrast, and saturation. Okay, and you can see, so these are the and I don't know why whenever you drop that down onto a video, it always starts at some crazy numbers that are not 000, but if you want to get it back to the way it was before you even drop the tool on it, oh, and you can't even see what I just did there because this was in the way. So right here, the brightness, I'll just Control Z all the way back. Right there. So yeah, minus 80. So I'm looking, no, not the position, here. Color adjustment. Brightness, contrast, saturation. So plus 64, plus 298, and minus 100 are the values that get added to it automatically, and I'm not too sure why. If I, actually, let me just show you, let me do something real quick here. If I bring a video to this, my projects, live stream, trailer, yeah, let's bring that in here. Live stream trailer. So, okay, so there's a video. When you bring, now, okay, this is, no, sorry, I can't do that. That's not gonna look good. I have to open this as a project. And the reason that is because I had, that was the MP4 of the trailer. This is the Camtasia project. Let me move myself back out of the way. So this is the Camtasia project, okay? And as you can see here, I have added color adjustment. And if you go up here, you can see the brightness, contrast, and saturation, -6, +5, +24. If I toggle this off, watch what happens to the color. You see it's a little duller. I can toggle this on or off, the changes that I made. Those are just and those, quite honestly, I make those changes, those same numbers I use for every one of my videos. Now I'm starting to think that when I wear a red shirt like this, I probably don't want the saturation up that high. Like if I bring that down a bit, there, that probably looks a little bit better. And you can still see that there's a little change, right? I've got the brightness brought down a little bit. That's what's causing that gray to kind of go away. Just bringing the brightness down a bit. You can bring contrast up. You know, you kind of have to be careful. You can kind of make these look not very good at all, but you can always, again, you can always use Control Z to back up and see, or you do this too, toggle it on and off to see what the difference is. So again, I know it off by heart in the middle because I do it all the time. It's -6, tab 5, tab 24. That's what I use. And again, though, I'm going to bring the saturation down a little bit, I think, probably to there. I wouldn't necessarily memorize those numbers that I use for yourself because it's probably it is heavily dependent on the environment which I'm in right now. The light that I have on me or the lights, how dark it is in the room, the camera that I'm using, the lens that I'm using, all of these things affect the look that you're going to get out of your camera. But this is a way, like let's say you're using a camera that doesn't do colors very well. Well, you can use these to dial up the colors. You can make it look better. There's some things you can do. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, but I will make I did make a color adjustment or color grading video probably 2 months ago. And you can look back and check that out. Basically just shows you what I just did. I just kind of showed you here. I don't think there's a lot more in that video, but you can check it out. But I do remember somebody in that video, and maybe it was you, I don't know, but wanted me to expand on that. There's more things I could have shown, like the range here, like gray all and gray shadow. See all these different presets you can use? Again, I'm only going to be dangerous in there right now. I mean, you can change all kinds of stuff. I need to do a little bit of research on this before I really before I can speak intelligently about how to use it properly, if that makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense. But it's on my list of things to talk about. Comprehensive Chiropractic Care Center. Hello and welcome to the live stream. Actually, I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm brand new to Camtasia. Does Camtasia have an option for software simulation similar to Captivate? Software simulation similar to Captivate. I don't know, because I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know Captivate. I remember it from years ago. I don't remember what it is. Is that an Adobe software? I don't remember. So I don't know what the software simulation is. Is it something to help you make tutorial videos? I'm not sure. But does Camtasia have an option for software simulation? Not that I know of. If you want to simulate yeah, I'm going to need to know a little bit more about what you mean by simulating software simulation, if you don't mind. I'm not really sure what you mean, and I might go down a path that's not correct. David Preston, hello David, and welcome to the live stream. How many videos did you have when you first started posting to YouTube? Is there some minimum amount of content so that people come back? How many videos did I have? I had created a lot of videos for customers and for clients before I started my YouTube channel. I started the YouTube channel, I'm going to say about 3 years ago. I already had some experience with Camtasia from my previous business that I had when I made a lot of tutorial videos. So I had a lot of experience with Camtasia. But that experience was never with me in the videos. So I never put myself in videos for my clients. I only started using my voice when I became a freelancer through Fiverr. Again, about 3 or 4 years ago. No, 4 to 5 years. Almost been 5 years, I think. 4.5 years ago or so, when I started with Fiverr. I started offering my voice on the screencast type videos that I was making. But before that, it was never my voice. It was text. So like subtitles or captions, and screencasts. So I would record screens and put them together and then sync it with text typically. So 3 or 4 years, so 4+ years ago, I started adding my voice, and that's when I started researching microphones and room treatment and things like that, how to get the best sounding voice. Started offering voiceover as a result of that, not just for tutorial videos, but also just for other people who were making perhaps tutorial videos or explainer videos or something, and they wanted a voice. I would use my voice for that. So I've had a few years experience with that now. But what I think you're asking, and correct me if I'm wrong, is more to do with the YouTube channel. And when did I start making videos, and how many videos did I have before I started posting to YouTube? YouTube videos, none. Like the first YouTube video I ever made is still on this channel. And you can go to my channel and click on sort them by latest. Go to videos and sort them by latest and go all the way down to the bottom. And the first one there is, actually, I think the first two I have there are my first 2 gig videos that I made for Fiverr. And they're kind of cringeworthy when I look at them now. They were from about 4 years ago. And those videos were about a year old, I think, when I made my YouTube channel. And I put them on the YouTube channel. I was thinking, okay, eventually I'm going to get better at this. It'd be fun to look back to see how bad I was when I started. So yeah, and you can go through kind of the progress that I've gone through in making my videos. And is there some minimum amount of content so that people come back? If you're referring to the YouTube channel, again, no, there's no minimum. You can have a YouTube channel with just one video in it, and it may do very well, right? You may not get many subscribers because there's nothing else for them to see. There's only one video. But each video in YouTube on its own basically has to stand on its own, right? It will either get promoted by YouTube and fed out to people more, or it won't. And there's a whole bunch of things that go into how the YouTube algorithm decides how often videos are going to be shown. All kinds of things, like, when people watch your video, how much of it are they watching before they leave, right? If they watch like all of it, and your video is so engaging that nobody wants to leave the video, they watch the whole thing, that'll help your video. If people watch, 5 seconds of your video, and after 5 seconds they already know they don't want to see any more and they're gone, the video probably won't do very well, right? So think about it in YouTube's, from their perspective. YouTube wants people to stay on youtube.com. They want people to keep watching videos that are on their website, right? And the reason that is because they sell ads to companies. Companies buy advertising space that YouTube then puts throughout the videos, right? Sometimes in skippable ads at the beginning, sometimes in what they're called mid-roll ads. These ads people are paying for, and so YouTube wants to show them. They want them to be shown as much as possible. The more those ads get shown, the more money YouTube makes. So that's kind of the premise. So knowing that, YouTube wants videos that people are going to want to watch. Okay, and take it another step further. If you then have more than one video in your channel, that starts to increase the likelihood that, well, if people liked that one video you made, maybe there's a good chance they may like the other one, right? And maybe then you may get subscribers. And when you get the number of subscribers you get really has no bearing on how many times your videos get watched, other than subscribers typically get notified when channels they subscribe to post another video or go live or things like that, right? Then that just increases the chances that you'll get more views. But something else is your thumbnail, right? Your thumbnail and title together have to be something that is interesting enough when it's presented to somebody that they click on it, okay? So the thumbnail and the title together, if that is designed well, people will click it. And YouTube monitors that metric, right? What is the click-through rate, right? Are people clicking on it 20% of the time they serve it, which is very high? Then they're going to start showing it more. It's like, wow, the people are really clicking this one. Let's show it a lot more. But then it's up to you, who makes the video. If people click on the video to see it, well, now you want to make sure they're going to keep watching it. You don't just want them to click it. You want them then to watch it, and you want them to watch a lot of it. So that's when you got to learn things like how to hook your viewer, and that just means how to, get their attention. Like say things like, and make sure you watch to the end of the video because you're going to learn blah or whatever, right? Whatever you do, and I'm still learning this, right? I'm still trying to figure out what's going to hold people's attention. What I'm finding is, since I'm teaching something typically very specific, I'm getting right to the point with my intro. Like, in this video, I'm going to do this, and let's get into it. That's pretty much how I start all my videos. Sometimes I'll put in a little ad, a little self-promotion about these live streams, because I'm trying to drive people to these live streams and build this community. But sometimes I don't. And always, I pretty much always put that little live stream ad at the end of the video, even though that's when the fewest amount of people will actually see it. Because if someone's watching one of my videos to learn how to do something in Camtasia, once they've learned it, more often than not, they're gone, right? So they won't watch the ending. But I do put it in there for those who are interested. But that's not a good strategy for retention. Well, or is it? If you put too much self-promotion and ads and fluff at the beginning of a video, you could lose people quickly, right? That's why for a tutorial video, I think it's very important to get right to the point. This is what I'm going to show you. Let me show it to you now. The worst thing in the world is for someone to say, oh, I don't know, like, in this video, I'm going to do this so that you can do that and this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to. So if you have to explain all of these things that you're going to do, and if you take 5 minutes to go through all that stuff, that's just wasted time. You're going to lose a lot of people. If you do have to spend a lot of time kind of explaining what you're going to show, then you don't want it to always be your face right in the camera. You want to break that up a bit. You want things moving on the screen, or show B-roll. Like if you're going to say in this video, I'm going to show you how to blah, 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 blah. Well, then maybe insert some B-roll right there, like cut away from your face, keep your audio, and then show some video of this thing being finished up at the end of the video. Put it at the beginning just to show people this is what you're going to know. This is what you're going to learn how to do. You know, that helps with an intro that otherwise might be a bit too long. And I try to do that sometimes, just to hold your attention a little bit longer and kind of prove to you, like, this is what I'm going to show you. If you're interested, keep watching. If you're not, well, then you're going to leave. So I don't know if that helped, if stuff like that is what you were looking for, but that's some comments on YouTube and how I started, when I started. And so no minimum amount of content. The more content you have, the more chances that people will subscribe to you if they like your content. And also what really helps is, and the last thing I'll say before I move on, is to be consistent. That's been drilled into me a lot of times, is that you got to be consistent. And I made the mistake of, I had really no choice because a lot of, life happens and whatnot, but I started to get going on YouTube and then, sold our house and then ended up, we moved and just things got busy. And I was over a year, like my live stream stopped for over a year. I stopped posting videos. This was in 2022, so 2 years ago. Up until last fall, I really didn't post anything. I had to get reset up back in this office, new office. So I did not stay consistent, and obviously the viewership went down and things like that. But once I made the decision, okay, I'm ready to do this now. I got stuff I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about Camtasia for as long as people want to hear about it. And I started that back up pretty much in February, March of this year. And now that I've been posting 3 videos a week for almost 3 months, I guess. Lots of views, lots of watch hours, lots of people coming back. These live streams are growing, and just gotta keep with it. So I'm gonna keep going as long as you guys want to keep listening to me. But please let me know what you want to hear from me, right? If I go down a path that you'd say, I don't want to hear any more about that. Can you please talk more about this? Tell me, either in the chat or in comments or to my email if you want. You can send an email to workwith@robthemaritimer.com. Actually, let me just post that here because I know I can. I don't think you guys can post links. We learned that last week, but I can. workwith@robthemaritimer.com. Did I spell that right? Right there. So yeah, feel free to email me. That goes directly to me. I'm the only one here, so that's just eventually I will have a form set back up on my website where you can kind of fill out the form, and that'll send me an email, right? So feel free to drop me a note and let me know what you think of what we're doing here, and if you want to see me cover something else a little differently, or if you have any ideas about what we talked about earlier, courses or memberships or anything like that. If you have any ideas how you think I can kind of turn this into more of a business, and I mean, it is a hobby. I enjoy doing this, but in order for this to be sustainable, I will eventually have to start getting some income from this. So I just don't know the best way to do that yet, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out together. And James says, voiceover is probably my big downfall with chronic I don't know how to say that. Sinusitis? Sinusitis? Sinitis? I sound terrible. I've got a buddy who provides great voiceovers. I hate relying on him. I understand that you don't want to have to rely on people if you don't want to. A couple things I'll say about that. First of all, So maybe you have some valid concerns. You know, you've got a nasal issue or whatever. But I will say that I'm going to say 95% of all people do not like the sound of their own voice. Okay, and that's enough to stop them right there. Whereas, like the first time I heard myself, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, it's like, wow, do I really sound like that? Like in my head, I don't sound like that, but I guess I do. And so that's always a surprise to a lot of people. When I first started doing voiceovers, I was embarrassed. Like so you know, my wife's home. I've got my kids upstairs, and I'm like, they're going to hear me doing this. They're going to think I'm weird. They're going to think this is stupid and crazy and all this. I don't know. That's just me in my own head, right? Because I'm thinking my voice sounds weird. Why would anybody want to? And I'm having to speak louder and stuff, right? So, but the bottom line is, more often than not, other people don't have a problem with your voice at all. Regardless of any nasal issues or whatever. I mean, we could probably think of some famous actors or actresses that have different voices that and they're doing quite well with them, right? And so don't necessarily discount your voice too soon before you try it, if that makes sense. So that's one thing I'll say. And with practice comes perfect, really. And not even perfect. I mean, perfect isn't even necessary. Anybody can be a voiceover artist today. I believe that. And also, if you're creating tutorial videos that need a voice, more often than not, the voice. Sure, people are listening to the voice, but they're more probably watching what's going on the screen, and the voice is kind of secondary, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's probably more important. I mean, audio is important, don't get me wrong, but it's more important in making a tutorial video that you're showing the correct steps, right? So there's that. So that said, there's stuff coming down the road that, like in the very near future, that is going to make, well, it's already here. You can already use AI generated voices to replace human voices. And the quality of those voices is only getting better and better. And we're pretty much to the point where they're almost perfect, right? And that's only going to get better. So there will be options for you to use AI voices instead of relying on other people. But having said that, and I know, so we're probably only a few years away from, and I'm going to talk about some of the Camtasia is working on this stuff, this very stuff we're talking about, avatars and whatnot. I'll get into that shortly. But I really do believe that so that's fine for creating tutorial videos and you want a quick voice or whatever. But if you want to grow something, if you want to grow a business, a YouTube channel, or both, I really think personal branding is huge, and it gives you a huge step ahead of the other people who don't feel comfortable enough putting themselves out there. So whether it's just your voice or your voice and your face, that is personal branding, and that will help channels. I know there's a lot of people creating AI-based channels now, and on these AI-based channels, they're not putting their face in the profile picture. It's a AI-generated image or just an image, a cartoon or something, and they'll use AI to generate the video, the voiceover, and all of it. If you can do that, then anybody can do that. Like literally anybody can do that, and then there's nothing special about anybody who does that. Okay? Whereas if you make a video and your face is in it and your voice is in it and you are talking to people, there's something special about that. That's different. That's now you're building connections. Okay? So that's why I say don't necessarily discount your own voice. But having said all that, you may be no, I definitely don't want to use my own voice. But and that may be fine, and there are options for you if you don't want to. But as Frank just said here, people prefer people. Sincerity matters. It absolutely does, and authenticity matters. Absolutely. The line between AI and human is getting blurry in terms of, can you tell if it's AI or human, right? It's getting harder and harder to tell, and it'll only continue to get harder to tell. But yeah, so who knows? Who knows where it's going? But I am a big believer in putting yourself out there, putting yourself in video, and your voice, if at all possible. People are still preferring that. Bernard Willette said, hello, Bernard. Welcome. 11 Labs is the reference to create your clone voice. I've heard that. Yes, I have not used it myself, but yes. You can use 11 Labs, and I think, am I right in that there's a paid version and a free version of 11 Labs? I don't know how exactly it works. Maybe you need the paid version before you can get your own voice cloned. I'm not sure. But that's coming to Camtasia, and maybe it's even 11 Labs that Camtasia is using. I'm not 100% sure. We will see shortly, though. And Frank just said, too polished is sterile. It comes across cold. At least that's what I tell myself. Yeah, and you're right. And that's kind of the way it is now. I'm going to show you something very soon. Camtasia has put together something they're working on, and you can tell me if you think it's AI or not. Hint, it is. But these options that we're talking about, 11 Labs and avatars and voice and all that stuff, is coming to Camtasia, and sooner than you think. Okay, so with that said, why don't we go right here? So that was upcoming videos. Didn't really tell you too much there because I'm not exactly sure what I'm making, but you'll know soon enough. I'm hoping to have one out tomorrow. So Camtasia 2025 and beyond. I have to say that, how do I put this? So Camtasia 2024 just came out, okay? And I have heard from some people that, oh, I don't, it's kind of an underwhelming release, not a whole lot of really new stuff. So maybe I'll hold off and wait till the next version comes out, right? Things along those lines. But sorry, just one sec. And let me just answer Pam here before I go too far. I had an undiagnosed ear infection for 2 years, and while partly it created a smoky voice that was good, at times it was just like a cold. Yeah, that can be challenging if you're dealing with things like that. Colds are horrible. Like, I've run into that where, especially if I do a video for somebody with my voice, and then 2 weeks later they come back and they want me to change just one little part of it, but now I have a cold. I can't recreate that thing. I either have to do the whole thing again with the maybe smokier, nasally, cold voice, or tell them, I'm sorry, but if you can wait a week, maybe my cold will be gone by then and I can redo it then. But some people like smoky voices and nasally voices, and there's all kinds of voices. We just have to be careful not to be too judgy on our own voices, because what we think of our own voices is not usually at all what other people think of them. Okay, so what I was saying, Camtasia's versions, okay, we've gotten used to large feature dumps in Camtasia when they come out with a new version. So like when they came out with Camtasia 2022, and I can't remember what was new then, but there was a lot. Boom, all kinds of new stuff. Even last year, 2023, all kinds of new stuff. And this year, maybe not as many new things, but some pretty cool stuff, dynamic captions being one of them. But the reason for everything being released at a new version year, say, is because they sold their licenses as perpetual licenses. You bought the software and then just paid a small maintenance fee to keep it current if you wanted to. But you basically bought the software, you own it, it runs on your computer, and it's yours, right? Because they're moving to the subscription model, which some of you don't like, I understand that, because subscription is more expensive than the old maintenance plan. But because they're doing that, they no longer have to wait to release a bunch of new things all at once. they're going to release new things as they become available. So they're probably, now they didn't tell me this, but they're probably going to stop referring to it as by the year. Like, oh, is that Camtasia 2024 or 2025 or 2026? Like, it's Camtasia. You just have to every so often a new version will come out, and it might, they might come out with one a month later, and then another month later, they'll add another feature, right? So that's where they're going. Okay. So they did release Camtasia 2024 2 weeks ago, and there were some new things in there, but there's more new things coming. And even this summer, there's new things coming. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if anybody is out there and deciding not to renew now, first of all, what I'm hearing is, okay, if you already have it or you had it and you can either renew or not, that tells me you probably had the perpetual plan. You had a perpetual license. Well, if you wait till 2025 comes out, you're not going to be able to renew with the maintenance plan. It's not going to be an option. October 1st is when that option is gone. It's only going to be subscription from then on. So if you think you're going to want to renew at some point in the future, 2025, 2026, whenever, if you think sometime you're going to want to do that, I strongly recommend renewing any maintenance plan that you have access to now or before October 1st, right? You don't, because then it's going to be $100 a year instead of $200 a year, basically. My numbers might be off a little bit. I think the subscription is $180 US a year, and the maintenance is, I think it might even be $70 or $80. I'm not sure. So that's the thing. So having said that, so you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I'm going to want 2025. What's coming? That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Not everything. So everything I'm about to show you here, I'm going to tell you some things are going to be released this summer, and then with 2025. When I say this summer, that might even be Camtasia 2024 still, because my understanding is 2025 they're going to start calling it that in October, once subscription is the only option. Okay. So, anyways, let's move on and get into some of these things. This first one I've got here, noise removal. Now, there's a couple of things I can do here. I can show you a video, a portion of that. Where is it here? Yeah, here we go. If I share my screen, so what I did is, this here is a video. I recorded my screen during that video webinar presentation last Thursday where they talked about it. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and identified the Camtasia things. So they also talked about some new things with Snagit as well. But I just went through the Camtasia things. And would it make more sense for me just to play, like, okay, this is 24 minutes of video. I'm not going to play all that. But I have little sections here, and I have, so for instance, there, noise removal is the first one. And you can see, I've got this in a Camtasia project, so you can see where I've got titles. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all the titles that I have. So 7 different things I can show you. And I'll just play you a snippet of or a little clip of these videos, and then we can talk about them. I'll tell you my thoughts, and you can tell me what you think. How does that sound? Does that sound good? You want to see some of this, or you just want me to talk about it? You guys let me know while I take another drink. I think I'm going to show you some of the video anyways, so that probably makes the most sense. And I want to make sure you can hear this. So the noise removal is the first one, and this one I believe is coming this summer, at the latest 2020, like October, I believe. So here we go.
Hello, my name is Zach. I'm a software engineer working on the Mac recorder team. I'd like to show you a couple of features we've been working on. The first being background audio removal, which is running right now. If I were to turn it off, you'll hear the sound of my table fan running in the background.
I just paused on that for a second. Can you guys hear the system audio okay? It looks like you can. I just want to make sure you can hear that audio. Maybe give me a thumbs up.
Turning it back on, the sound is completely gone. The goal here was to remove background audio while keeping the speaker's voice clear and undistorted. Besides constant white noise, this feature works on table taps, keyboard clicks, finger snaps, and animal noises. So one more time, this feature works on table taps, keyboard clacks, finger snaps, and animal noises. Past that, making recordings in shared spaces such as coffee shops and offices is not a problem. Enabling noise removal, you can hear that the background clatter is removed as you'd expect. Going a bit further, loud items such as vacuums can also be cut out. If I were to disable background audio removal, you can hear just how loud this is over the microphone. And if you like to record videos next to an open window with traffic in the background, you can still expect clean, audible voice recordings.
Okay, what did you think of that? I thought that was pretty cool. That, as I said, is coming very soon. That's pretty much just about ready. I think that is going to be part of Audiate, okay? But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's going to be in Camtasia as well, but Audiate and Camtasia are being more closely integrated than ever, and it's going to be an option, an upgrade. So that's Camtasia Pro. They're going to have different, they already have different levels for the subscription plan. So Camtasia Essentials is just Camtasia. Camtasia Pro is Camtasia and Audiate, and I believe that's what you're going to need for this noise removal. I might be wrong though. And then Camtasia, what's the top one? There's another one that includes all the assets as well. But anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. The noise, and most of the people in the webinar thought that was really cool as well. So that's the first one. The second one is Camtasia Web. Okay, so let me go back to the screen here. And I won't play all of this one, but just enough so you can get the idea.
Your SaaS product is about to release a major overhaul, and you've got till the end of the week to complete a tutorial video. But your subject matter expert is in another time zone. So what do you do? Or what about when you find that perfect customer who's articulate and loves to talk about your product, and you want to share that with the world, but they live in another country? How do you capture that? Well, we've been thinking about these problems at TechSmith, and we think we found a real frictionless way to help solve that problem for you, for your customers, and for your subject matter experts. And I want to show you some early prototypes now. Come on, let's take a look. All right, this is based on a version of Camtasia that would be in the browser. So you simply could click to get started, and within the interface through your browser, you could invite others to participate in your project. So there could be subject matter experts or customers or others, and you simply click invite, put in their email addresses, and send the invitations. They're going to get an email with a link that will take them right into the web experience to do that recording. Each one of them will be creating a unique scene, and that scene is just unique to that customer or that subject matter expert. So on their machine now, you come in and select camera and click start recording, and they can get a real-time preview and see what they look like and record their audio, stop recording, and the scene gets added to the project. The other customers that you've invited are doing the same thing on their own computers through their own browsers. No software is needed to install. And so it's really frictionless and easy. And then you can come back on your computer and be able to access through your browser those scenes again in that project, and even now come in and do some tweaking of different backgrounds and test that out, see what you like the best. You can also adjust effects, and this has background removal, so we turn that off, and now you're going to see adding the mask, and now I'm going to add a drop shadow and be able to add the border to that as well. So it's much like the Camtasia Rev experience, but all happening in the browser, no install required. You can play it and see if you like it, and if you do, you can just create the video and share it, or you can download it as a Camtasia project file.
Okay.
Got project downloaded.
Whoops. Sorry, I don't know what I did there. I hit some. Anyways, yeah, there. So Camtasia Web. Basically, it's a collaborative tool that will allow you. You can use a version of Camtasia that's going to be in the web, and then you can have other people from wherever across your office or across the world contribute to it. It's going to be a really neat way to get testimonials. Say if you wanted other people to give a testimonial, they can log on to a website and then quickly record themselves, and then you have it, right? So that, I believe, is also going to be part of Camtasia 2025, Camtasia Web. And just to confirm here, free for all plans. Camtasia Web will be included with all versions. So you don't need Audiate, you don't need the assets or anything like that. It starts from the lowest plan on up. It'll be available for everybody. So Camtasia Web is coming to Camtasia near you. At any point, as I'm going through these, feel free to ask questions or let me know. Give me a thumbs up or down. Do you think it's cool? Is it something you're going to use or not? I'd be curious to know what your favorites are. And this is also not everything that's going to be in the next version or later versions as they come out. This is just kind of what they're working on right now. So the next one, AI avatars. So yes, with the next version, probably this summer, there are going to be AI avatars available. So you're going to be able to put a script in, okay, and choose an AI avatar to speak the script, okay, and then you can actually get them to you can then translate it and have them speak the translated language. All of that's going to be available too. Now, what's coming a little bit later, not this fall, but maybe later on in 2025, is custom AI avatars. And when I say custom, I mean it can be you. So let's say you made a video that was truly you, right? And then you needed to go and edit it. You'll be able to edit it with AI. You don't actually have to re-record yourself. It'll be able to do it, if that makes sense. Probably best if I show you. I've got a little bit of a, actually it's not, is it this one? No, that's a little bit of a preview, but let me move that out of the way. I want to show you, where is it? Yeah, this, the best place to show you this one is right from the website. Yeah, here we go. So let me bring this down. And I'm going to enlarge this. Watch this. So this is Wendy Hamilton, is the CEO of TechSmith, and you're going to see a video of her right here.
Welcome to TechSmith's Future-Proof Your Workflows event. We're excited to share today what we've been working on for our customers. Right now, you are watching one of those developments. This video looks like and sounds like me. But I have never recorded myself saying these words. This is a custom AI-generated avatar. It's an early preview of the future technology TechSmith will provide as part of the Camtasia Pro plan, starting with the release of stock actor avatars this summer. If you are thinking that you can tell it's AI, know that this technology is progressing rapidly. In a couple years, AI-enhanced video like this will seem completely lifelike. Have you ever recorded yourself, then re-recorded repeatedly because you messed up or revised the script? Those painful time-wasting experiences will become a past memory. You will be able to combine this tech with your live footage to repair those first-take videos auto-magically, or eliminate the need for webcam recording at all. And the possibilities for localization are incredible as well. Mein Avatar kann fast jede Sprache der Welt sprechen. 저는 한국어를 할 줄 압니다. Türkçe konuşabiliyorum. J'ai oublié mes 2 ans de français à l'université, mais mon avatar est là pour m'aider. 我说中文, मैं हिंदी भी बोल सकती हूँ. Next,
Okay. So what did you think of that? I thought it was pretty cool. And one of the things that I noticed that she said that I kind of caught on to is that so she never spoke those words. That wasn't her. That was an AI avatar. And but keep in mind that the technology is only going to get better. So you could probably tell if you look close enough. If you didn't hear that this could be AI before you watched it, maybe it would have passed and you wouldn't have thought anything about it. But knowing that it was AI, we kind of looked at it, said, yeah, I can tell that that's AI. In a couple of years, what she's saying is that you won't be able to tell that it was AI. The technology is only going to get better. So that's custom AI avatars. That's coming a little bit later. But until then, non-custom or basically a catalog of AI avatars are going to be available for you to choose in Camtasia 2025. I believe she said this summer, like before the fall. So you're going to be able to choose your actor or actress, the nationality, age, what language you want them to speak. I believe there are even accents. So for some countries that have more than one dialect or accent, you can choose different accents. It's really quite amazing. And then if you want to create a translated version of your video, easy, right? Maybe you want to record the English version, if you're English, yourself, and then, but then you want to create a version that's in Spanish. Well, maybe you don't know Spanish. Well, you can now or in this summer you'll be able to choose a different avatar and use the same script but assign a Spanish language to them and have them speak the Spanish language, the Spanish version of the script. And then soon you'll be able to put an avatar of yourself even though you don't know Spanish, and now you're speaking the Spanish through AI kind of thing. So anyways, thought that was kind of cool, and interested to know what you guys think of this. So
this is what we are currently doing.
Sorry, let me know what you think, and let me just take a quick look at the chat to see what you guys think. Sorry. Frank says, nice idea. We'll need to see it improve a lot, though. Yeah, I agree. Before I do too. I guess it depends on what you're doing, what you're creating. Again, for me, I like putting myself in my own videos, right? And but if some of you out there need to produce a lot of content, and maybe it doesn't matter if it's really you, and I don't know what I'm trying to think of an application. Maybe it's a company and you just have to produce like hundreds of videos and you want to do them quickly. Maybe that's an alternative for you to do, right? You can use one of these AI avatars, and it can really cut down. It can really cut down on costs. Like if you don't have access to an actor and you want an actor in the video, or a voice, and you don't want to spend the money for a voiceover artist, this is free, or the cost of Camtasia, right? You'd be able to do it through that. I believe you would need Camtasia Pro for this, like with Audiate to get the text to speech and the translated speech and all that stuff. That's more Audiate, I believe. But it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate it. Sybil says, creepy. I hope she's right that it will get better. Uncanny Valley the way it is now. Yeah, and you said later on her hands didn't move at all. That's right. Yeah, no, they didn't. So yeah, you could obviously tell it's AI right now, but for a first view of it, I thought it was pretty cool. Bernard says French with a little accent. Of course, because you're in Quebec, I believe, right? Montreal, right, Bernard? Very good. So yeah, there you go. So that's AI avatars. Next up, let's look at Video Object Tracker. So let me go back to my screen here. And that is, I believe, was that this one right here? Yeah. Here we go. Let's have a quick look at this. I don't think I have to show the whole thing, but
Concept.
So a technology that's been interesting for a while now is object tracking. and how that's a little bit different than object detection. And I know that being able to track things in videos has been around for a while now. So what we'll do is we'll take a peek at Apple's object tracker and take it for a spin. So if we had an object detector that was trained to detect soccer balls, and we showed it this image, it would probably say, my goodness, I see soccer balls everywhere. And it would give us a bunch of rectangles around a bunch of the soccer balls. An object tracker, on the other hand, is something a little bit different, where you draw a box around something. What we're telling the object tracker is, we're interested in this one particular, not all the other ones. And so if we frame by frame forward from here, we can see that the tracker is able to do its job. We can even have it go in real time here. It's a slow motion video, but we can see that at least for this particular type of content, Apple's object tracker does a decent job with this. And what's interesting is once you have a box around something that you're interested in, you can do other things with that box. I mean, I only have really simple things implemented here, but you could do a redaction, you could do a blur if you want, and that effect will track with the thing that you're interested in. So the thing I was really curious about with this technology is personal information that you want to redact in a video. So let's say a user has something here and they want to draw a box over something. And the idea is once this content starts scrolling, can the tracker automatically move this box so that the content underneath the box remains redacted? And as you can see here, it's still a little bit rough around the edges. I've got some jitter, and it might be a problem with my implementation. The box is trying to stay on top of the redacted content. It doesn't always succeed. And obviously, if we pursued a feature like this, we'd have to investigate a lot more time into making sure that the tracker could reach.
Okay, that's probably seen enough of that to know what they're doing. That's pretty cool. So tracking. So for instance, just the example he was showing here would be good if you had, say, an email address or personal information in a tutorial video that you wanted to blur away or completely hide. Tracking might help you do that instead of, I mean, there's some other ways you can do that now, but like I'm thinking like with the soccer balls they did, like let's say you have a car with a license plate on the car, and you want to blur the license plate, and the car might be moving across the screen. Tracking would help you do that. Or what's the other example I like to use? The like face. Like let's say you have a video of a family, and there's a couple of underage kids in the video, and you want to blur their face. Maybe you want to blur their faces for privacy reasons. Tracking would help you do that as well. So instead of having to use Camtasia's animations almost frame by frame as they move across the screen or as the camera moves, right? Tracking would make that a lot easier. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I can certainly see how that can be used. And other video editing software uses this or can do this, but it's typically a little more advanced. But they're looking at maybe bringing it to Camtasia in the future. I don't know that this is going to be ready this fall. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. But if they get some positive feedback, and what I'm showing you today is available on Camtasia's website as of today. They put it up. They sent me a link earlier today, so anybody can go to their website and actually see these videos if you want to watch them again or on your own time. Without all of my feedback. You can do that. So yeah, any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep moving along. Next one is text to video. And for that, I think, yeah, this is kind of a neat one. Let me just play this for you.
In the last few months, I've been
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
Watching.
Hello everyone, I'm super excited to share with you what we've been working on in the last few months. I've been exploring utilizing several different generative AI services that will help end users with a faster and quality content creation process. So let me show you what could be a possible user workflow. I have opened here the Wikipedia page. Just scroll down and looking for something that might be interesting for us. How about the great blue Turaco? So we have to copy this title. It has to be matching the Wikipedia title page. And we're using this interface. So here we can either specify the topic or just paste the text with the content and press start and wait a few minutes. Right, we're getting the first results, we're getting the transcript, the text of the transcript, and also, as you can see, we have the keywords that could be used for social media. At this time, the content was generated for us, and we can give the control back in the hands of the user. So he can edit the text here, upload the images. For example, there's something went wrong with the process of generating it. So we can upload our own, let's say this one. And when we are satisfied with the end results, we just press on the Finish, Edit, and Generate Video button. And let's have a look at the final results. So this is what we are getting after just a few clicks and several minutes of wait. I think it's pretty good.
Today, we're diving into the world of the great blue turaco, a fascinating bird species that calls the African tropical rainforest its home. This bird is not only the largest species of turaco.
I'm going to link this video.
Okay, so what'd you think of that? So text to video. Yeah, again, it's a nice, I'd say it's a nice starting point, or call it a shortcut. If you're in a real hurry and you need to make a video fast about something and you don't have time to research it, they're looking at ways to integrate Camtasia with tools like OpenAI, ChatGPT, and be able to do your queries right inside Camtasia and create a video from text that you can then edit. Okay, and there's another one that actually, if I show you, go back to here, the last one that I'm going to show you, where's my mouse gone? Here we go. Generative screencast is something similar, but yeah, so you'd be able to generate a video basically with AI very quickly. So let me know what you think of that, and I will move on. This next one I am quite excited about. And I actually only have, here we go here, multi-track recording. They actually have two different things about this. One is called the suppress or select recorder, and another one is the multi-track recorder. So I don't have to play all of them, maybe just a little bit of both. So let's just start with this one. Oh, let me share my screen, that'll help. Here we go. So watch this. So this is cool if you have multiple monitors, multiple windows open, and you want to record something, but you don't want to get everything off of your screen. This is what they're working on.
Thank you for watching.
This is a Mac OS 13 desktop screen. This is the Camtasia recorder within Mac OS 13.
Kind of funny.
You can record your screen, camera, microphone, and system audio. Here are some things that may happen during a recording or you can't do with our recorder. You get a Mac OS alert that is burned into the recording. Annoying. You get a Slack or email banner which appears on your screen and is now burned into the recording because you forgot to close out of those apps before recording. Annoying. You get a notification sound while recording system audio, and that notification sound is now burned into your recording. Annoying. You want to record a single window or a single app or several windows or apps at one time? You can't. Oh, come on. You want to record several windows or apps at one time and have them come into the Camtasia timeline as separate tracks? You can't. What now? You want to record a specific window or app and only have the system audio from that specific window or app recorded? You can't. Come on, man. You get the point. Well, not anymore. Meet?
I'm Josh, a software engineer on the Recorder Libraries team. We've been experimenting with the ability to record your screen and choose exactly which windows and applications you would like to be included or excluded from your recording. We'll start with an example of excluding windows. I'm currently making a recording, and as you can see, my screen has my script as well as a bunch of other windows opened, but I really only want to record Camtasia. Now I can open this window selector prototype in our test recorder and do just that. The window selector is simple and familiar and shows all the currently opened windows. To exclude windows, I'll need to select this button, and then I can select the windows that I want to exclude. So I'll do every single one except for Camtasia. And as I do so, you can see that they disappeared from view. I can still see my script in the other windows on my screen, but they do not show up in the recording, as you can see. This is what the recording looks like in Camtasia. You can see there is no video magic. It's one recording on one track. And when I play the video, you can see the windows disappear as I select the ones to be excluded. Now I have a colleague messaging me mid-recording, as you can see by pop-ups in the top right corner of my screen. Notifications can be distracting or have sensitive information and cause you to need to re-record your entire video. But with this feature, I can open up the window selector and choose to include only Camtasia in my recording. I can still see the notifications pop up.
Okay, so let me also, the next one, I mean, we can talk about that one, but this next one is very similar as well. And yeah, my cat's not here today. She's upstairs. She got locked out today. Frank says that's a cool feature. If they have multicam, I may cry for joy. Yeah, I did not see multicam yet, but I have mentioned it to them. So I'm hopeful for that one too. Sybil, love the grumpy cat pics. That would keep me watching. Text to video is cool if it uses real content, not AI. Multi-track recording looks helpful. Yeah, the text to video, I think that was AI. But maybe they can use real royalty-free music, or not music, video clips or even still images. That you're right, that would be cool. Multi-track recording looks helpful. Yeah, so let me just quickly show this next one. I think this next one is even a better example. It's like they have two different teams working on two different versions of something similar. Whoops, what did I do? Yeah, I just did that. Bear with me here. I have to get my screen back. Plus screen. There, you're watching me build in real time a screen share. Put it back here. There we go. I was trying to X that out. There we go. But that is the wrong screen. So we'll go here and we'll change that to this one. Nope, that one. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Go away. There we go. All right. Okay, let me try this again. Let's play this so you can see it. Multi-track recording. This, to me, looks very promising.
Senior software engineer on the recording team. I'm here to show you an exciting new feature, an early prototype. It might have bugs, so bear with me. I am not very good at naming things, so I just called this feature Super Recorder. So we'll go ahead and click on that and press record. Now you'll notice that there's just a bunch of windows on my screen. Let's pretend I wanted to do a simple.
I got a message that you cannot hear, so 1 second. Sorry about that.
Show you an exciting new feature.
Can you hear that?
Early prototype. It might have bugs, so bear with me. I am not very good at naming things, so I just called this feature Super Recorder. So we'll go ahead and click on that and press record. Now you'll notice that there's just a bunch of windows on my screen. Let's pretend I wanted to do a simple tutorial like how to drag images into Snagit. So I'll just drag a few images into Snagit. And then I'll open Snagit. Maybe I need to resize these. And let's just go ahead and hit stop. I have about a 30-second video. And I'll open it in Camtasia. You'll notice in here, nothing looks too out of place. It looks like my screen recording. But something to note is that every single window I recorded is its own video. If you want to get rid of things, resize, move, anything you want, you can do that. It looks like I had a script on my screen, and I don't need that to show up in my final video, so I can just go ahead and get rid of that. You'll also notice this timer. I definitely don't want that to show up in my final video, so go ahead and get rid of that. You can see I can resize each window, press play. See, these are all videos, no smoke and mirrors. I don't need this window. This just happened to be open, and I don't need it in my final video. And I'll just resize these. This opens up many possibilities with editing your final videos. Let's do some quick edits to this project. I'll just make a quick final video, show you the powers of having everything as a separate window.
So there you go. Super recorder or multi-track recording. I think that is super cool. It'll record every window you have open in your computer. But even if you have multiple monitors like I do, it'll record every window that you have open in every monitor, right? And each window will be its own track, and then you can just delete the ones you don't want. I see, personally, I can use that because I drag things from one window to the other. I have my Finder or File Manager on one window, and I'll drag files into Camtasia, right? Or I'll drag things, up and down, whatever. When I'm live streaming like this, I'll drag a window from my big monitor down to my display monitor so you guys can see. That just opens up a whole lot of possibilities in terms of screen switching and things like that, transitions and all of that, or even having two screens in the video on screen at the same time. I love that feature. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. We see Sybil says, I like that feature. It would be amazing to have a script on the same screen with the ability to delete it. Exactly, because I do that. So when I'm talking like this, I'm not using a script right now. But if I'm doing a voiceover, I typically have my script on my screen. I'm often recording on a different screen, so that's all right. But you're right. If you have the script right on the same screen, let's say you only use one monitor and you don't have the ability to get things off of that monitor you're recording on, and put them on another monitor, this is huge. You could do what you're doing on one monitor and not worry that you're capturing things that you don't want, because you can get rid of them afterwards. Frank says, well, that means I can hack multicam by using a second capture. I think you're right. Here, let me just put this on this. So like, if you can get a camera into your computer and basically call it a screen, right? Then like an HDMI source, then yeah, that is probably a way you could definitely hack that. I never thought of that, but absolutely. I don't see why not. So my fingers are crossed that this is coming sooner rather than later. I don't know how close they are. I didn't get the impression that it was going to be as soon as the avatars and the noise reduction, which is going to be this summer, I believe, or early fall. But hopefully not too much after that. because they also asked what people thought. They did a little poll after every little mini presentation just to see what we all thought. And I believe noise reduction was the number one, but this one was high on the list as well. So there you go. And let me show you one more thing. This video looks longer, but I'm not going to play it all. You'll get the idea. Let me show you the screen here. We'll come here and let me just remove that. So generative screencasts. So another AI feature. Let me play this for you.
Next up, let's talk about explorations with large language models. So we've been taking large language models and figuring out ways to help it talk to Camtasia. So with the power of the metadata that we gather through our applications, feeding that into a large language model, and then helping that large language model learn how to speak to Camtasia has netted us some pretty interesting results so far. Joe's going to take us through some examples, and I hope you like it.
Today we're going to take a Snagit screenshot and use AI to help us generate a screencast that we can edit in Camtasia. We're going to use a simple screenshot in Snagit powered by the screen.
Let me just say, you don't need Snagit for what they're about to show you. That's just how they were getting the image. Okay, it can be any image. That's my understanding. It doesn't have to be Snagit. So there we go.
Intelligence data that you get, if you've ever used our Auto Simplify tool, we can detect UI elements and cover them for you automatically. Well, that can really give you some great superpowers when you're working with AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by copying this screenshot. I'll just drag it right down into our AI assistant here. Here I'm in a custom GPT we call Generative Screencast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my screen intelligence data, tell the AI where all the buttons are and what the label values are. Now we want to plan our videos, so we have a dedicated AI just for storyboarding based on what it sees in that screenshot. And I'm not going to give any additional context or clues to the AI here. We're just going to let it look at the screen intelligence and the image and make some decisions for us that we can then tweak. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and we're going to see what we get. All right, so right away you can see we have an establishing shot, the Excel start screen overview. We've got some voiceover. We have call out text. I have a whole storyboard here, and I can go in and I can make some revisions. In fact, I think I'll say let's make it shorter and make the tone more approachable, less verbose. All right, so let's give this a shot. So I'm ready to see what this video looks like inside of Camtasia. So let's go ahead and turn this off. We're going to talk directly now to the Generative Screencast AI, and I'm just going to say, make me a screencast. Camtasia's engineers made it possible to create projects using a scripting language. And what this LLM has been trained to do is write in that language. So in effect, this LLM speaks Camtasia. So now that our project's been generated, let's go ahead and start from a brand new project in Camtasia. I'm going to go ahead and open up my scripting console here and paste in what I got from the LLM. And right away you can see that LLM was really busy. I've got a background, I've got animations on my screenshot here. There's callouts, there's a voiceover, there's music, there's a mouse pointer. So I'm going to go ahead and preview this. Let's watch it together, and let me go ahead and hide some of these panels, and let's see what we think.
Hi there. Welcome to Microsoft Excel. Let's take a quick tour of the Start screen where you can find everything you need to get started. Here at the top, we have a variety of templates like Track My Tasks and Family Budget to help you begin right away. On the left, you'll see your profile and handy options to create.
Okay, so you get the idea. It creates an editable Camtasia project. Here, let me just skip to this part here.
Now, keep in mind, we're in Camtasia, so there was a couple things that I would have wanted to go a lot faster. Well, I don't have to go regenerate this. I can just manipulate it right in Camtasia and get all of my animation timings a little bit better. You know, it seemed like the intro there also was a little bit lagging. And so I can just get in here and I can just manipulate.
Okay, so basically it takes an image and generates a script from the image and creates a Camtasia project. Like, it's all like AI, it's all AI. So for me, it seems like I'm leaving a little too much up for this AI to kind of create on its own. I might want a little more control myself, but it does give you an editable file afterwards. So again, if you're in a pinch and you need to create something quickly, this might be a great way to create something quickly. And it's all AI. The voiceover was AI, everything. So something they're working on, and I don't know that it would be near the top of my list. I really like the multi-track recording stuff and the noise reduction stuff. And what else was there? Object tracking. I can see a use for that. But anyways, yeah, that's that. What do you think? What do you think of all of those things that we that I showed you here? And just so you know, if I go back here to this page right here, so this is TechSmith's. If you don't have a link, I think I got this link from my email, but I believe they sent it out to. I think there's probably a link to it right from their website. If not, send me a message and I can send you the link so you can have a look. But basically, there's a whole lot more stuff here. Everything that I just showed you, all those snippets, came from this sneak peeks video. So it's over an hour long, but I took about 24 minutes or so out of it. The stuff that was only Camtasia and the stuff that I wanted to highlight. But there's all kinds of other things here that you can take a look at. Yeah, so feel free to send me a message if you don't have that link, and I can send it to you. Let me just Rob. There. So there is my email. You can send me a message there, and I'll send you the link if you can't find it. I don't even know was I even showing that to you? That's the website there. If you can't find a link to it, send me a message. I just put my email in the chat, and I will send you a link to it. So that was generative screencasts, which brings us to the end of the list that I have here. So yeah, that's all I had planned to talk about today. If you have any questions, let me know now. I'm willing to stick around here for longer if you have any questions for me. If you want me to demonstrate anything, that's no problem. Let me just take one more drink here while you ponder that. Oh, and incidentally, just I don't know if you guys can see this or if it's just me, but 73% of you who answered the poll are on Windows and 27% on a Mac. And that's from 30 votes. So that's interesting. I'm in the minority of the 27%. Well, I didn't vote, but I'm on a Mac, but I have been on a PC. So that's interesting. I'll just end that now. That's perfect. James Ryan, appreciate you. Thank you, James. I'm glad you liked that. Jolene, thanks for your time and expertise. No problem. I have a lot of fun with these. I don't mind this at all. Sometimes I just have to put a little extra thought into what to talk about from week to week. So you guys could help me out by letting me know what you want me to talk about. And again, just kind of revisiting that I need your help part at the very top. Let me know what you'd like to see me create, whether that's videos for the YouTube channel, the content I continue to create. Let me know if there's something that I haven't mentioned that you'd like to see me make, and I will. And also think about what kind of course you'd like to see me create. I may create, I shouldn't say may, I'm going to create a course and probably have a membership to the website at some point. Membership probably will give you access to all courses that I create. That's currently what I'm thinking. And I'm also thinking that when I launch a course, it's going to be like a soft launch at a deep discount, so that when people, if you're one of the first to get it, part of that deal will be, let me know what I might have missed, or what else would you like to see me add to this to make the course perfect. And And then I'll basically go back to the drawing board and I'll revamp the course. I'll add new modules to it. And then, of course, anybody who got in early will get the updated version of that course once it's officially launched in its final form, if you will. And that might be several months later. So my goal is probably within the next 3 to 4 weeks to have something available. So let me know if you think I'm on the right track, or if I'm not, or if there's something you'd like to see me create. Let me know what you're having trouble with. What do you need help with? Is it voiceover? Is it screencasting? Is it script writing? Okay. Is it keeping people engaged with your videos? Do you have people leaving your videos and not watching them all the way through? Like, would you like some tips on how to keep people watching your videos? Or, maybe you have something that's really long you have to show in a tutorial video and it's like over 10 minutes long, and you would just want to make it such that people are going to watch the whole thing. Some tips to help people stick around. The main thing I can think of is, if you do have a video that's that long, consider splitting it up into smaller ones. That, people tend to like smaller ones. It's not always possible, but if it is, that is an idea. Yeah, and Frank says, always motivating to try something new each video. Absolutely. Fun to try new stuff, try new things. Yeah, well, so that was 2 hours. Been at this for 2 hours. Probably a good time to stop. Thank you again for everybody who stopped in and participated and asked questions and gave feedback. Love it. Had a great time. I hope you did too. I'll be back next Tuesday. I'll hope to have a video out tomorrow. So if I do, it's probably going to be before noon, usually around 10, but sometimes a little bit later, depends what I come up with. So look for 1, 2, or 3 more videos before next Tuesday. And then next Tuesday, I'll be back here again live. Another live stream next Tuesday. So again, thank you all. Hope you have a great rest of your day and rest of the week. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.